Hello, friends. Hi, how are we today? I hope we're all doing well. I'm doing fantastic. I'm here for the week of May 13th through 19th with this kit from Bunny Bear Plans. So without further ado, let's just get into it. I think this was called Daisy. I'm pretty sure. I was just like, I couldn't get over how cute the artwork was. Like, I saw a ton of kits with this artwork, but I just really enjoyed this. So I used it. Very excited about it. I I like her kits. They're very nice. I just don't like glossy paper. Would I buy her kits again? Yes, because I do see Bunny Bear Plans using some artwork that other shops don't have. So I would, but my preference is matte, always. But this artwork is so stinking cute. And I think it was the perfect kickoff to the May long weekend, which is what it was in Canada here. And one of the reasons that was a big deal was because my mom for Christmas in 2023 had given my husband and I a night's getaway. And she booked us into a hotel. She watched my kids. And it was just such an interesting time. So because there's a lot packed into Sunday, like a lot packed into Sunday, I'll just let you know. So we stayed at Blue Mountain, which is a tourist resort just outside of a tourist town in southern Ontario. It's not really a mountain, it's a hill. Like if you go to British Columbia or Alberta, they have mountains. We have steep hills. So anyway, it is a ski hill and resort, but it's an all year round thing, and they have a lot going on in May as well. There was tons of actually bachelor parties there, bachelorettes. I know a bunch of people who have gone there. So, for bachelor and bachelorettes, and people just go there. There's tons of activities year round, and the village is extremely pricey, but very fun. So when we got there, we were checking in and they were like, "Oh, we're so sorry. Like, it's a bit of a wait to check in." And we're like, "That's okay. Do you have time to just take our bags? Check-in's not till 3. We know that. Is there a bag check?" And the guy next to us was like losing his ever-loving mind. He was trying to scam them. He was trying to get more days. He was so rude and he was so loud and belligerent about it. And then, um, and then, what was I going to say? Oh, yes. So he was so loud and we were just like, "It's okay. Don't worry about it. We can just keep our bags in the car until that time. Not a problem." And the hotel clerk was like, "Don't even worry about it. Let me upgrade you to a different suite." So we ended up staying in, I think it was called the Wilder Lodge. I don't know. Very cute for winter, kind of dark for the rest of the year, but it was really nice. It overlooked the little tiny water park and pool area that they have, overlooked the village, which was really super nice. And it was like a suite. So we had our own kitchen as well as a really nice living room, a dining room, and a bedroom, as opposed to just the hotel room that my mom booked, which would have been fine. We would have been fine. It was just one night away from our kids. It was the first night away. Now that we know we can do it, we need to find a babysitter. We'd love to do it more often. But it was really, really nice. And then I'll tell you like more of the details day by day when we get there. But we ended up going to dinner at a restaurant neither of us had heard of before, and it was a touristy restaurant. They weren't serving anything specialty. Lots of Canadiana, burger and fry, poutine, but like elevated. And we get there, and it was like a while. They came to us and they got our order and they got us drinks and they were all like snap, snap, snappy. And it was a Sunday of a long weekend, so they were pretty busy. We overheard a table being like kind of nasty to them, but they came up after about, I think it was like 25 minutes. It hadn't even been that long. And they're like, "Oh, we're so sorry. But the item that you ordered, it was my husband. I think it was the fish and chips. They're like, "We don't have any more fish. We're really sorry about it." And we were like, "Oh, it's no problem. Don't even worry about it." My husband chose a Reuben sandwich instead, which he likes as well. No problem. Food was good. They're like, "We know, we're just sorry for the wait. Do you guys want drinks? On us, no problem." And we were like, "Hey, it is not a problem. We're enjoying each other's company with the kids. Like, don't even worry about it." And they were like, no, you really, like, we're really sorry about this. So after the meal was over, the manager of the restaurant came over to us and he's like, what else would you like? Would you like more drinks? And at this point, we're like 3 drinks deep because they've comped our drinks. And we're like, oh, we should stop drinking. We had drinks before. Like, we did not show up to this restaurant fully sober. And the manager was like, yeah, the whole thing is comped. You can just go. We're like, what? And they're like, yeah, the whole thing is comped. And we're like, excuse me? And I am telling you right now, friends, I feel like it pays to be kind because the other table who was like yelling and screaming at them definitely didn't get their meal comped. So it was like these upgrades were just like an added bonus to an already really, really nice weekend. So I'm really, really glad that we got to do it. On Monday, I was working in my office randomly, like no one on my team was there. It was very empty all week. And I used a paper and milk Maru for that. And then another Maru. It was an extremely rainy day. I went to Starbucks that morning and then I went out for lunch with 2 of my friends who are in the office. And I used a pho icon for that because we went out for pho, except for it was called dry pho and it was bulgogi and something. It was a really, really interesting thing to try. It wasn't my personal favorite. It tasted okay. It isn't what I would go to next time. The 3 of us like to go out for different meals and try different foods. So it was a bit disappointing that was like not the most delicious. However, I did have bubble tea, which was really exciting. Then I ate way too much. Like it just was a lot of food. And I had a food baby. Then I ordered a new hose and the hose icon is from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. Because ours sprang a leak at the end of last season. And then I used a Coffee Monsters Co. icon to note that I worked in my planner that night. The next day, I used the same paper and milk Maru just to note that I worked in the office. And then that lunch, I went on a walk to Tim Hortons, which is 2.5 kilometers round trip. And I walked to Tim Hortons just because I had forgotten my lunch. Then I had to email daycare about when my kids were off for vacation for the summer. And then my little guy had his 18-month vaccination, which I put in, and I used a Coffee Monster Co. icon for that. I used a fox and cactus icon to note that we had family snuggles. And then I finished a study in drowning, and I stayed up way too late to finish it. And I used 2 Coffee Monster Co. icons for that. I used an icon from the kit to note daycare drop-off on the Wednesday, and then a Gracie, which is no longer in her shop, from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. You can use my code ALEX20 for 20% off your order at any time from Sweet Tea Sticker Co., just in case you wanted to know. And then I used a Coffee Monsters Co. icon. I ordered from Old Navy for my kids. The problem with them being born in different seasons is that when it gets to that season, I don't have the appropriate clothes for my little guy. And then my big guy is just growing like a weed, an actual weed. It's insane. I did some pruning in my backyard, and then I got my supposed Happy Mail from Indigo, but it was not. And then I finished planting my back garden, and I used a fox and cactus icon for both of those. On Thursday, I did daycare drop-off. Again, used something from the kit for that. And then I quickly went to Sobeys to pick up some things for dinner that night. And then I budgeted. And then it was just a day of calls. I had a call with my mortgage advisor just to discuss renewals, everything like that, huge down payments, etc. And then I called Indigo to let them know that they had something wrong with their order, and they did nothing. And then I had a call with RBC to arrange an appointment to set up time to talk and get my kiddo scheduled to set up his RESP. And then the next day was Friday, so I did daycare drop-off again, and then I had my appointment, and all of those phone icons are Sweet Tea Sticker Co. Then in the afternoon, and I worked on these days, so they were fairly empty. Then in the afternoon, I did laundry, and I just took a walk to Tim's on my lunch to grab a tea. On Saturday, both the boys tantrumed really badly in the morning, and it was weird because I had to pack, so that was tricky. Then we did groceries for the cabin, and I used a squish with the little bag for that. And then we drove to the cabin. I used one of these like vellum sticker sheets for that with the little car from the Coffee Monsters Co. I don't love it. I don't love it just because it's so transparent, but I digress. Then when we got up there, it was very calm. We played on the side of the mountain. We just played outside. The kids had a grand old time. We went for adventures. It was a really fun time. And we just had a lot of family time with my mom and my stepdad. And then that night, we were in the fresh air. We had been very emotional in the morning. You know, it was an early night. On Sunday in the morning, my mom got up with us at the butt crack of dawn, which was very nice of her. And she made the boys some pancakes. So that pancake stack is from the Prairie Planner. And then we went to a park, and it's an amazing park called Sunset Park in Collingwood. It's so cool. It's like shaped like a pirate ship, and they've got an area for like the littles, and then they've got for the middles, and then for the older kids up to, I think it's up to age 12 or 13. It's really cool. Like, it's just a really cool place to be. And then in the trees, they have beautiful like lights strung up. It's gorgeous, but it was insanely hot. Both of the kids took a really long nap that day. Then we checked into our hotel. We had some drinks at one of the bars in the village. Then we went walking around, did some shopping. We did our hair and makeup, and by we, I mean me. And then we had a lovely evening walk before, where we got eaten by mosquitoes, I might add, before we went to dinner at K2, the restaurant, where they comped the whole meal, which was really exciting. And then after dinner, I just used the Coffee Monsters Co. icon with the Long Island iced tea to note that I was a little drunk because I had a lot of drinks and I don't really drink at all. And then I just used like a cutesy little icon to note that I had a lovely date with my husband, which we rarely get to do. So it was really nice. Anyway, that was the entire video. I really, really enjoyed this week. The next week is also looking awesome. I have the base laid down for that as well. And I do have the next 6 weeks beyond this pulled. So I am hoping to do a little bit more catching up. You guys will see this probably on the 28th. And then obviously you'll have a video on the 30th and then a video on the 1st. So I hope to see you in the next video. I hope that you are all staying safe and well. And I really hope that you enjoyed this one. Toodles!